All right. Hey, everyone. It is James Gardiner here with the Heroes on Vitality. Another episode coming at you where I have the privilege and honor to sit down with some amazing souls, some amazing inspirational people sharing their stories, their journeys, their life lessons, each a hero in their own right to their friends, their family, and their community. Today's episode, I'm joined by a fearless young woman and and an amazing soul, a dental hygienist, entrepreneur, health and wellness advocate, and as we're going to see, also a champion for anti-bullying. And it's my pleasure to sit down and discuss with Jessica Drader. Hey, Jess.
Hi, thanks for having me, James. Really good to be here with you this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, this is great. This is exciting. Lots to share, so I can't wait to
awesome
get going with you with it. Yeah.
Well, you know, I had to intro you as a fearless woman, which you are. We're going to get into some of your story. I myself think it's fearless to look into people's mouths for a living and deal with that on a day-to-day basis. You are a dental hygienist.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what? I love it. I love it. You know what? I don't think there is a thing in this world that grosses me out. So it's kind of the perfect job for me.
Not a thing, Jess. Not a thing.
Come on. I don't know. I haven't come
across it. Are you one of those nuts on Fear Factor that would just eat whatever they put in front of you?
I might.
Oh, God.
I might. You know, even oysters kind of gross me out, though. I don't know if you're an oyster fan, but no, I know, right? They're a little, but even that, you know, I'm like, I'll do it. I'll eat it. I like it.
Fearless, ladies and gentlemen. Fearless.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, we digress, but hit it.
She eats oysters, so she's so fearless.
Well, true.
No, if we're talking money here, they're throwing money at me. Yeah, I'll eat whatever you throw at me, right? I'll do that. My next fearless thing, though, that I'm really wanting to do is skydive. I've had my eye on skydiving. I need to do that. I'm so excited for that. So that's next summer's bucket list.
You gonna take Ariel on that journey?
I would love to go with her. Yeah. I think we should do a tandem. I think that would be really fun because we're both very cohesive on the same page about being fearless, you know, so we just go back and forth on that. So we would just have a great time together.
Nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, we could talk. We should have another fearless segment.
Oh, yeah.
Fearless according to Jessica and James.
Yeah.
That'd be fearless. How, like, dental hygienist?
Yeah.
Where did that calling come from, if I may?
I actually started as a dental assistant back in 2011. So I've been in the dental field for, I guess, since 2011. What are we looking at? 11 years now. And I wasn't sure, but it was what it was is I was coming out of waitressing and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life. And I actually started a degree program to be a teacher. Wasn't really feeling that, but I just wanted, and I love working with my hands. I couldn't just be at a desk staring at a screen all day. That wasn't me. So I needed something a little bit more hands-on with people. And my mom had actually suggested, it's a short course. It's pretty cheap. Why don't you get into it and see if you like it, kind of thing. And I ended up falling in love with dentistry. Why? It just suited me. I just fit that scene. I love talking and working with people and helping people too. And everyone would come in with this situation and I was able to help them. What happened with hygiene is a very independent role and you work separate from the dentist. You take on your own patients. You have your own, walk through your day with them. And I felt like I'm a more independent person to be able to see people on my own. I loved the doctors who I worked for, but at the end of the day, I was their assistant. So I had to do, in a way, what I was told with them. Sure. And so hygiene was really hard, though, as an adult to go, you're at this point and then to go back and redo school, restart your education, kind of restart a chapter in your life. It's very hard. because I had a very secure job as being an assistant, and I had to do a lot of schooling, a lot of money to get myself to where I am. But it was something that I knew I had to do, and no regrets. Never will look back. I absolutely love dental hygiene. My days are fun, and they go by fast. I see, a patient, I have my time with them. I do my job with them, and it's
I think too, it's maybe somewhat unheralded. I mean, you do foster a relationship with a lot of patients. At the end of the day, people come in and see you more than they actually see the dentist.
Absolutely.
And
so once we have their mouth stable, they're not doing restorative care of seeing the dentist. So a lot of patients, the dentist comes in for the exam for, a few minutes and does their checkup, and then the rest of the time's with me. So a lot of throughout the years, I become friends actually with a lot of my patients. They come in and we know each other. It makes it so much easier. It's just almost like having a coffee with a friend. It's like okay, we're not drinking coffee, but or sometimes they're like, Jessica, do you have a bottle of wine hidden somewhere?
Right?
Can we just not do a teeth clean? Can we just drink and chat? Because I love stories.
But it's interesting because just not misconception, but it's a common denominator out there. Most people don't like going to the dentist.
It's true. It is true.
Don't. They go to the doctor when they're sick. Yeah, but it's something, I don't know what it is.
It's something. It is,
but
something.
It's definitely right. It's something that gets in the way of people having a pleasant experience. In that realm.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It is day to day. I see people that say, I don't like being here. Yeah. So if I can make their time more special and almost fun, like that, if they leave having a smile on their face, I did my job. Not like, oh, they're smiling because they had their teeth cleaned. More like, that was a fun conversation, or, oh, I really learned something. When somebody comes into the appointment and they're like, oh, I'm having a bad day, I'm not feeling it, I'm like, all right, game on, let's change this. How can we change this? And more so than not, I will, because I don't just see them as a mouth, I see them as a whole person.
Right.
So it's like, and sometimes we're kind of like hairdressers or nail salon, we're like the undercover therapist. So they can tell us their darkest secrets. Where is it going to go? And we can have that really deep conversation. So it's for me, I don't know, I can't speak on every hygienist, but for me, it's more than just a teeth cleaning. And then they leave feeling like, okay, I can come back feeling comfortable and confident that with my next appointment,
Well, you're creating a safe space. I mean, let's be honest, laying in a chair with your mouth open is a pretty vulnerable place. And, there's a lot of noise and things associated with the process of being in that chair. And so, you're creating a safe space, and you're showcasing really, which is a fundamental component of every successful business, which is it's a relationship. At the end of the day, the currency is relationship in life. In life, it's not transactional based. So
no, exactly. So because I almost wish it was a tipping service, dental hygiene, like waitress will serve your food good, it's good, and it's like, hey, why isn't other occupations?
Hey, you are an entrepreneur, maybe we need to, hey, strategist, you and I will talk after this. I like that thought process.
We're like, doctors do a good job for a heart surgery. They save your life. Do they get tipped? No. They don't get it. Here, you saved my life.
But your Uber takes you from downtown across the west side, and they get a tip.
They get a tip. Yep. Right? Anyways, we'll work on that.
We'll work on that. Stay tuned, everyone. Stay tuned. Jessica, I also labeled you as fearless. We were joking, but it is something that's very powerful in your life. And you mentioned you had, it was scary to leave being a dental assistant
Mhm.
and switch gears to your
Mhm.
hygienist career. And obviously something like that takes a lot of courage. It
Mhm.
does.
Yeah.
Where, like, what do you attribute that to? Where does that courage in Jessica, the fearless oyster shucking down the hatch lady?
So fearless.
I know. But seriously, where does that courage come from?
Um, James, as we had our little pre-talk, I did have a little rough patch in my teenager years. So when I was growing up, I was at times a victim of bullying,
Mm,
and I think a lot of teenagers go through that. I'm fortunate enough that social media was not a part of my high school years. Thank goodness. I can't even imagine
I know.
now having social media be a part of it. Oh my goodness. But um, what that led to is a more in-person passive aggressive bullying, not internet-based bullying.
Yeah.
Um, and then there's uh, teenager years. For me, it was really hard. You have a lot of expectations, so you need to be doing well in school. Then you need to make money, so you have to have an after-school job. Whatever that is, McDonald's, however. Mine was A&W. Um, and then you're okay. Now you need to kind of fit in and find yourself though as well. Okay, wait. Now you got your soccer practice, and now you have and your extracurriculars. You have so much going on, and through all that, you're a teenager. You're finding that maturity and finding yourself as a person, also trying to fit in, and then sexually trying to find yourself with boyfriends, girlfriends, friendships, family. It's a lot of pressure, I think, in teenager years, and with that comes what we see in a lot of teenagers: that rebelling, that outbursts and things that they do, and we did, right.
Mm,
And I found for me, I did those outbursts. I didn't do well, and one of them led to depression, teenage depression, which was really hard on my family. But I just, when you go through times of, okay, I'm not fitting in and the boy doesn't like me or whatever, what's the point of living? And at that time, I find a lot of teenagers, we don't see past high school. We don't see the future.
right.
You're in that moment and that is it. This is life. There is nothing more than this. This is what life will always be. And you have your adults and other people telling you there's so much more after, and you're like, yeah, whatever. You don't, and you hear it and you know they're wise, but you really don't. You really just think, this is all I care about right now. My friends now, the boys now, what is my life now? You live in that moment. And so in that moment, not having those things, well, there's no point of living. And I think a lot of teenagers unfortunately go through that, and they can't see the bigger picture past what they're going through in that moment.
So your let's stick on depression for a moment, because I think it's a very weighty word, and it's
Yeah.
something that's prevalent in this day and age, regardless of
Mhm.
age.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for you and your journey, was it like, because you talked about boys, for example? I don't know, but I mean, you mentioned expectation. Let me back up. Sorry, you mentioned expectation, and I went through this too. I went through this at 23.
Okay.
That was my doorway to adulthood when I lived in New York City. So I moved to New York City, and all of a sudden here I am, and all of a sudden I had the real world around me. Expectations: do this, do that, buy this, marry by this, save money
Right.
by this. And
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
for me, my self-worth started
Mhm.
to then be associated with everything outside of me.
Mhm.
Does she like me? Did I get the girl?
Mhm.
Whatever.
Mhm.
Is that something similar that you feel? I don't know. You can speak of your journey.
Yeah.
What was it self-worth that you were associating with?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this was what was I? I was 16, 17. So I just didn't have even the maturity to recognize different situations I was going through and really being like, okay, this doesn't matter. This should matter. These people don't matter. It all mattered. And everything just hit and hit and hit and hit to the point where it just kind of crumbled me. So my self-worth just went down. I didn't have any. And that's where depression hits in. And depression, there is different ranges of it. I feel to where you get up in the morning, you can do your day, and you can be kind of functioning depressed, or it's like to the point at my age and my maturity where it took me to, I wanted to end it, and I tried on a few occasions. With saying that, it didn't take till later on to realize, did I really truly want to end it? Or was it just a cry for help? And I think for a lot of teenagers, it's just a cry for help. They don't want to end it. They want to be here. They just need to be noticed. They just want somebody to listen and really listen to what they're going through, not just get in trouble for everything you do or not doing. And so it was a bit of a cry for help, more of a dramatic technique to seek attention. But in the time, I didn't see it as that. At the time, I was like, no, I just don't want to be here. But looking back, I think it was more that. And I'm curious with a lot of other teenagers, is that more what it is? And I think people just need to look at a teenager going through that and being like, okay, I need to just listen to them, hear their story, hear them out, more than just try and fix it. Okay, they're depressed. Okay, put you on medication, put you in this hospital. And that happened to me. I was put on medication and I was put into a hospital. And when you're put on, and this is just my journey, this is just how I take it. Okay, James. When I was put on medication, and at that age, it made it real. It made, okay, wait, am I truly depressed? If I am, like, okay, then it brought it to life. And the seed in me that, okay, I'm sad about things. Now I'm on medication. Now I'm seeing doctors for it. Okay, now this is real. I'm a depressed person. Okay, and the drugs actually did the opposite to me. I personally am not a believer in prescription drugs for that, because my personal experience had the opposite effect. It did not make me antidepressed. It enhanced it, because it made it so real. My brain was like, I'm taking this pill to make me not depressed. How depressed must I be to take a pill?
Right.
Okay. So it actually enhanced suicidal thoughts and really took it to a dangerous level, where I was admitted to a psych ward. And James, going back to all your stuff on why am I fearless and why have I come to be, was that moment, actually.
So that moment for you, I call it a jungle event in my terminology in terms of life. And I think we have series of these events that change us, some more profound than others. For you, you were 16, 17 at this point, give or take, something like that.
Yeah.
And so out of that, I mean, that in and of itself, here's a young woman who was dying to be heard and understood, and a cry for help. And then the fearless shield maiden and warrior came from that, out of that event. What was some of the first steps that you took on this new path of Jessica when you woke up in the hospital and said,
what am I
F
doing
this,
here?
pull the ripcord, I'm out.
It was just like that. There was a situation in the hospital while I was there with a true patient that was truly, needed to be in the psych ward. And it was called a code white. And in the psych ward, it's, you have little walls and then a curtain. And it was all dark. And then when they flick on the light, though, you just see shadows moving around across your curtain. And on my bed, my little cot had like straps, like to restrain me if necessary. And I'm looking at all this all around me, and I'm like, Jessica, what the F are you doing here? Oh my gosh, girl, you don't belong here. And the code white situation, it was a man who was screaming at the doctors, and this whole, oh my goodness, was in front of my curtain. I'm witnessing this, and I'm like, this isn't me. That's not me. I'm okay. And I was like, I've taken this too far. I don't want this for my life. I don't want to be in this place. And it was a wake up call beyond anything. And I had an epiphany, and it was like, get your shit together. And I was probably about 17 when that happened. And I think a lot of teenagers might not have that moment. And like I said, it took me to that point, that far, to have that, oh my God. And so I got out of there, and right away I seeked help. What do I need to do to get out of here? This situation. And I did 6 months of counseling, and I give a lot to him. He was amazing, my counselor, and he listened. I could be honest. I could tell him I wasn't in trouble for everything I told him, or I wasn't getting grounded or just a stupid teen acting out. It was, no, he just listened to me, and everything I said helped every situation, or had advice, or it was just, it was so good. So and then I got into a really good group of friends, a good support system around me, had the summer of my life with them, and from there it just snowballed into a more positive, a better life for myself. And I always would look back and be like, I just kept growing and growing and growing, and be like, that's where it started from, and I will never be that person again. I'll never allow that to happen to myself. And I am a fighter against bullies and for people bringing others down. And Captain America is my favorite Marvel character because of that. Stand up for the little guy.
That's right.
Right?
I love it. Okay. I mean, when did Jessica don the superhero tights and cape, if you will? So in other words, right, when we emerge from these events and we go through our personal growth, we know we've been there. It's a never ending growth. We know that the journey doesn't end. However, there is a gray area that we kind of get our wings, but then there's a point where we start to really emerge and step into who we are today, like the James here, the Jessica, for you. When did that happen for you? Like, when did the fearless Jessica really?
I don't know if for the fear. I think I always been since I was a kid. I think I was born with it, to be honest. I've always been in all activities, all sports. I would always be the one to, let's do it, let's go. I would never hold back. I think that comes a lot. My mom's pretty fearless. She's pretty inspirational. She'll do anything she'll eat anything, do anything, go anywhere, and just so I think a lot of that came from family, friends, and my husband today, he's very inspiring. He's pretty fearless too. So I'm surrounded by Ariel, and I'm surrounded by these people that have that. So it's a very positive feed off each other. That and I have this thing, and it's that if someone tells me I can't do something, and this probably stems back from those teenager years, I have to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
So if anyone says, okay, you're not good enough, or you can't do that, or no way, it's like, oh, okay, yes way, watch me. But hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Just wait. Hold my beer.
I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. Let me just show you. I think life's a lot more fun being on the edge a little bit. It makes that feel of adrenaline, and just saying yes. Like, the movie Yes Man, saying yes. Such a positive, like it speaks so loud, that movie on, with Jim Carrey there, just saying yes to everything and how it changed his life. So that's being that person that just can always be a part, always say yes. You will grow so much. Your network will grow. Your people will grow. And you never know day to day who you might meet and how they might change your life. So always say yes and always be a part of things. It's hard speaking that way to a lot of introverts. That's really out of their normal. So this more goes to our extroverts out there. But
it's also amazing to see your journey in terms of you've put together a lot of micro yes moments. Ever since that jungle event, and it's like stepping stones. It's led you on your path in life, one that's a lot more fulfilled than you envisioned
Yeah.
X number of years ago. And
James, you don't know how glad I am every single day that one of my attempts never went through.
sure,
I am so happy, and I owe that to surrounding myself with really positive people
well,
and
that's
yes
it.
people. And
Howard, yes, love that.
um,
So,
yeah.
Jess, where did the courage and the spark come from then to put that into an entrepreneurial
Hmm.
arena, if you will?
Um, Actually, a lot of it was to do with Ariel. Um, she, we had been friends since actually kindergarten. Me and her, we've known each other for many, many years. There was times of falling out, falling back in, just life. Never, we
That's
didn't have a just
that's
how life.
life. Yeah.
And we rekindled it in the last few years, and then it just blew up. We didn't really know how we would connect, and we just did. And seeing how much she's grown and how inspirational she is and how she lives her life and the things she has done with her business and how alike we are, I'm like, and I don't get bitter, I get better. So it's like
Mm.
it's a positive envy. Like, okay, holy crap, look what she has, look what she's accomplishing. Why can't I? I want to do that. I was like, what resources do I have? What do I know? What am I good at? Okay, teeth, oral care. I've been a part of that world for a long time. How can I turn this into a business, a passive income, um, but also be a positive impact on the world?
Right.
Because that's important as well to me. So that's where the seed kind of came from, was just conversations with Ariel. And then one night my head was just buzzing with ideas. And then I approached my closest friend, Amy, who's my business partner. She's also a hygienist with a lot of years of experience.
Okay.
And I brought it to her. And from that, our heads kind of butted. And then it just blew. And we just kept, and from that day, we have been growing it since. And
Can
we
you share? Would you be willing to share your brilliant little nugget
absolutely, yeah. I
with
mean,
our community? Okay.
I don't want to give away everything, but yeah, our company is Avo Everlasting Essentials. So everlasting meaning, we're what we are giving to you is reusable for life, everlasting. Nothing's landfill associated. And then essential for your oral care. We didn't want it to be dental because we didn't want to limit ourselves on what we can bring to the people. So our specialty is oral care, so we're going to start there, and we're going to see where it grows into. Um, Avo comes from avocado, a very trendy ingredient that people love their avocados, but also the health benefits. Huge health benefits with avocados, and one being in the oral mouth actually. And so we're bringing avocado oil into the toothpaste.
Mm.
The toothpaste is an all natural toothpaste. The product itself is a dispensing product that is made of an ionized aluminum, so it's metal, so it's reusable. It's essentially for life. The toothbrushes are manual, but the whole piece of it is the same. It's cohesive, so it's a very high quality kind of luxury concept for your bathroom, so that people, when they see it, it's not an eyesore, it's not plastic, it's not junky. It's
Right.
it's
I
it's
got you.
something that they'll want to put in their bathroom. They'll want to almost take pictures of it and throw on their Instagram. Like it'll look it's very
Mhm.
trendy and high quality. But the toothbrushes match your unit. Again, reusable, washable, and then the toothpaste tubes get inserted, and that's all recyclable.
Yeah.
And we're making it very user friendly, very clean. And another thing that didn't mention to you, James, that we're doing is Amy has some past as well, some trauma too, and with stuff. So we're actually partnering with a foundation in Mission that is about helping abusive women in homes that just need to leave and get out. So a
Mm.
lot of what we're going to be attaching to what we're doing is proceeds going to helping women in abusive situations that just need an out.
Hmm.
and that they take nothing but a handful of stuff with them. And it's happening quite a bit. There is quite a bit of this going on, more so through COVID. But people that require toothbrushes, deodorant, women that need those just kind of those daily
Amazing.
products, the basic daily products. So that's something that's really important to us as well, part of this. Another thing is the education. So when people buy our product, they will be getting also, we have planned pamphlets and on our social media things about personal education, not just copy and pasted from Google, but real advice on oral care and maintenance and just things about your mouth that maybe you never really heard of from your hygienist before. So making it very realistic and relatable, not just the textbook classic brush your teeth twice a day, floss, and you'll be good.
Right.
There's so much more to it. So yeah, we really want this to be revolutionary to the oral care world. We want to help the planet. We want to be natural. Beautiful. And we also want to, and here, our oral mouth, make that our number one priority. Cool. Is what we're doing. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll make sure that we put some contact info, of course, in the show notes, so people can go and find out more information. And
so like I said, as of now, we haven't launched the website, or pre-sales will be happening in a short bit, but it's we're still in the works, but it's coming. It's really it's been a year in the process. There's a lot of behind the scenes, and we're really perfecting it.
Just a little sidebar, future thought, just going to seed something here that maybe we should get Amy on, and I'd love to just have a conversation with the two of you just in terms of support for women in general, and of different ages. I'm very blessed to work with mostly women and my clients, and I do know that it is a common denominator for many of them, and it's in need for sure. It's in need.
Yeah, there's a lot that do need help, and they don't know where to go and don't know what to do.
Yep.
So that I can definitely talk to her and bringing her on. And
just let's look, something to think about down the road for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
To bring this all together again, I'd like to just tie it up with, if I may, Jessica, what would you if you could go back in time and say anything to that 15, 16, 17-year-old girl? Keeping it PG-13 rated.
Slap her in the face. No.
What would you say? Well, what would you say to,
you know what though? It would probably be something I already heard from everyone else. There is so much more than what you see right now. Life can get so much better if you allow it. Change your negativity is you're manifesting inside and bringing yourself down. Start looking at the positive in people, the positive in life, and that will just domino into more, and you will be happier. It was just finding that happiness and then letting that grow, and it just but I feel like these kind of things I already knew and had. It was just more honestly growing up, maturing, and going through a big, I was that person that clearly needed that hard moment to really push me.
Yeah. You just said something that sparked in me.
What was it? What did I say?
No. No, I'm thinking in my own journey and just in life, it's like, we're getting more evolved, and we're getting more conscious, and we're getting more aware of people's feelings and emotions and bullying and this and that. And you just said, you know what? I just needed to grow up. And I think a lot of times now we're so quick to label things and think that there's things that are wrong with people or whatever. And it's just like, I think it's sometimes it's just part of being a kid, being a
Yeah.
fucking kid,
Yeah.
and growing up. I know things
Yeah.
are different than when I went to school, and things are different than you were when you were
Yeah.
that age. I get that, but growing up is still growing up,
Yeah.
and we have to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's just sometimes that complicated, but that's simple. Like people throw that out, just grow up, and it's like, no, growing up, it changes you. I don't think there's somebody that can honestly say when they were in their high school to their adult years that they're the exact same person, or had the exact same interests.
I'm not the
No.
exact same person I was 5 years ago, and I'm in my middle age, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Right?
And so I'm still growing up. I think we'll always be growing up till we die. We're always growing up, learning, changing. But if we can grow in the right direction, then that can be something really beautiful.
It is, and growing, just growing with that little Jesse and the little Jimmy, as I like to say, like growing with them now in life, like bringing them along for the ride, and having fun and finding the joy and the wonder and all these things.
Yeah.
Life is a hell of a lot better with an inner child next to you, as I like to say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You never forget them.
You know?
Our who we were, where we came from, as
Yeah.
J-Lo like to say, still Jenny from the block, so
Jenny from the block, riding the
Jenny from
6
the block.
train.
Yeah. So we
Totally.
all have a story and a journey. And if I can really speak to the teenagers, it would be it's okay to grow up, it's okay to change, but really look at yourself in your life. Is this for the better? Am I walking my day to day helping others, or am I destroying others? And is this the person who I want to be? And if I can honestly say that there's not somebody that would disagree with me. If you can make somebody smile or make somebody happy or change somebody's day for the better, you will never feel bad about it. You will never feel bad about making somebody happy or making somebody smile.
What did you say to me? What was never feel bad about
doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing.
You will never feel bad about doing the right thing.
There it is.
So I think that would be something that we can always live with and take with us through all of our years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Jess, thank you for sharing your journey. Thank you for actually, for being transparent and sharing stuff with us. We do all have a story to tell, and within that story is also heroic greatness. Each individual, how that lands for us and what we're called to do here. You are an amazing woman with a lot of a lot of life to live, to impact, and to be of service. So keep it up. Mad love to the courageous, as I always say.
Thanks, James. I appreciate it. Yeah. Day by day, right? Step by step.
Day by day.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks again. And for all of you tuning in, thank you so much for your support and for joining us on this conversation. Until next time, we'll see you later. Cheers. Thanks.